Hello everyone, welcome back to another Doctor Who Gut Check, where I give you my initial reaction to the latest episode of Doctor Who. And that latest episode is Joy to the World, written by Stephen Moffat, the Christmas special for 2024. Did it bring joy to my world? Yeah, I'd say so. This episode seems to be quite divisive. You're in the camp of love it, or you're in the kind of hate it. Get rid, the old guard needs to go, we need new blood, which I kind of agree a little bit. But you know what? Joy to the World, I had fun with. I think, I'm going to let you into a little secret because, this is a bit of a confession. I've still not watched all of Church on Ruby Road. I know I'm a fake fan and that makes me terrible, but I had way more fun with this because I actually finished watching it, and I'm a big fan of Stephen Moffat. I think I love the Moffat era, and I think that this does have the Moffat hallmarks. The setting, the Time Hotel, the main backdrop for this story. I am a big fan of the Time Hotel. I think that it is very Stephen Moffat, and I love the sort of concept of it. If a hotel, had the ability of time travel, what would it do? It would sell unsold rooms from years gone by. Perfect. And that fits a nice sort of Doctor Who idea, and I love, this is the thing what Stephen Moffat does brilliantly, is playing around with time, and this story does that, and I think it does it effectively with sort of looping each segment off, and it's just all very clever and smart, what you expect from Moffat really, and I love that, how sort of we get sort of the Doctor living a year with Anita. We'll get on to the Doctor, which I think the Doctor and Anita, is Anita the next sort of shown of a companion who never was? Because Anita, my goodness, had more of an impact in the story than Joy. I liked Joy. I thought Joy was great when she was in it. I think Nicola Coughlan did a great job when she was possessed by the Starseed, and I loved that we, again, a very nice little Moffat idea of giving the threat a catchphrase. That the starseed will bloom and the flesh will rise. Very Moffat. Kids in playground, be all over that. So I like that. It's got a nice sort of traditional Moffatism there. I seem to be all over the place with this reaction, which I guess is a bit like the story. It's all over the place. And I think this is one of the criticisms I have with this episode, is tonally, it doesn't know what to do. It's got all these wonderful ideas, but it doesn't know what idea to stick with. You've got the Starseed, which, is very much there for the kids. That's your action and thrill of the story. You've got the Time Hotel, the setting of the story itself. You've got the Doctor and sort of the whole idea of sort of the loneliness, why people leave you. And then you've got Joy thrown into the mix there, which kind of links into the Doctor sort of story in this adventure. It just doesn't know what idea to stick with and land and sort of develop further. And I think that's where the story kind of gets a little bit muddled with what it's trying to do, because it's trying to do so much and spin so many plates that some plates seem to get dropped within the story itself. The story went to places I didn't expect it to go. The whole plot with Joy and her mom, I think that was really powerful. And I'm glad that Doctor Who sort of touched on that, because it needs to be said. So I think that it was quite powerful, and it hit the emotional spots within it. And I think the ending for me with this story, though it was powerful and it had a beautiful sentiment, I felt a little bit confused by it. With what did Joy's mom just dissolve and her body was never found, or it seems a little bit confused, that, because I think there is a real powerful message behind that moment, that Joy and her mom reuniting, but it's just the bits in between, it seems a little bit blurry within it. But yeah, I am all for Doctor Who with that message, what it was saying. Another powerful thing about this story, what I really enjoyed, and it's probably my favourite thing within this episode, and that is the Doctor, Shoty. I like the Doctor, I guess, have a bit of a issue, well, I say issue, maybe a problem, an addiction to buying police boxes. You see, I too like the Doctor, like buying police boxes. I like the idea that the Doctor's all into buying TARDIS merch. He's one of us. sad gits. But back to the Doctor, I think because this episode, it is just Shoty flying solo, as it were, you really get to see his Doctor shine. And I think because in season 1 he wasn't really in it all that much, but this is the first time where I'm like, oh yeah, you're really good, aren't you? Because I think there were so many aspects to Shoty's Doctor that was brought in within this, because I think Shoty's Doctor is very much happy-go-lucky, let's have fun. Whereas I think this brought more conflict to his character, but we see more of the manipulative side when he's trying to break the sort of starseed sort of programming in Joy's mind. It felt very McCoy. And then you've got this sort of balance of him becoming the caretaker, which felt very Matt Smith 11th Doctor, with sort of the psychic paper going, oh, I'm on a diet. Yeah, look, this is what you want. You want biscuits and jelly. Like, it just felt very, yeah, Doctor-y, great. And I think that this is great to sort of have more assets to Shoty's Doctor than sort of, hey, let's see the wonders of the universe. I think this was great to sort of add a bit more bite to his character within it. And I think that Shoty was able to shine with, the Moffat, monologues. It just, there's something quite nice about Moffat. Moffat just gets the character of the Doctor. I think this elevates Shoty as the Doctor. I think, when he sort of starts to put on the coat, the Sonic's like, why am I doing that? And it's like, yeah, this is great. It sort of seems like a rehash of the Snowmen, when sort of the Doctor's like, oh, I shouldn't be getting involved, but I am. Why am I doing this? Like, I feel like the character beats and themes do feel very similar to the Snowmen. I think probably the Snowmen does it better because you've got the fallout of the ponds, because I wouldn't say there was much of a fallout from Empire of Death with the Doctor leaving Ruby, even though the story's probably playing that sort of it more dramatically than it actually happened in the story. So yeah, I think that was great. And speaking of Ruby, she gets a cameo within it, which feels so random, and it just, I like it. I like Ruby, but it just felt like a bit of an odd inclusion within the actual story, and it's a shame that we didn't get a little chat with the Doctor and Ruby when, he was at the hotel, and, maybe he could have borrowed, the 14th Doctor's TARDIS instead of just sticking around in the hotel, but then we wouldn't have got the brilliant bits with the Doctor and Anita, because I think Anita, like I say, really joyful, and, was the star companion of the episode. I shouldn't say star, because Joy is technically a star, and Joy, I think, was great. I did enjoy Joy. I think when she become the sort of star seed, I think the effects were a little bit ropey within it, and I think that again it's sort of a rehashing the ending of the Runaway Bride. So I think that there are some sort of creative ideas that have been used before. I think Joy to the World for me is as much fun you can have with a Christmas special. I think the Christmas specials are kind of always sort of hit and misses. They either hit or they sort of miss, and I think that, there's not, I don't feel like the Christmas episodes ever crack like somebody's top 10 list of Doctor episodes of all time. I think that this was just a fun run around with a lot of energy, but again, I think the ideas it has are a bit tonally all over the place. Like, there's some great bits within there once you sort of deep dive in the actual story. I think the character work is brilliant, but like I say, the ideas, it just doesn't know which one to stick with within it. And for 55 minutes, I think it covers a lot of ground, and I think that some plates do get dropped. But like I say, the highlight for me was Ncuti Gatwa. I think that this really allowed him to shine as the Doctor. The tease for season 2 looks incredible. I feel like we've got a great direction. I think because I was left in a sort of an odd place with Empire of Death. I felt so deflated after Empire of Death, and having this, it sort of restored me back to going, oh yeah, Doctor Who is great, isn't it? And I think, yeah, Moffat just gets Doctor Who. Like I say, I'm a Moffat fan, so I'm going to be eating this all up. And I think that this restored my Doctor Who mojo back. I was like, yeah, this has put me in a great stead for season 2. I think season 2, like I say, looks immense. I love that it's bringing back the sci-fi element, sort of the spacesuits. We've got these big robots, and the clip from Unleashed felt very traditional RTD Who, back to sort of the 2007. So yeah, I'm very, very excited for season 2. Hopefully it will be a very strong series because it looks promising, and hopefully it sticks to landing. So that has been my review to Joy to the World. I think overall I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's got some neat bits, got some flaws, but still a solid watch for Christmas Day, and that's all you really want for a Christmas special. Just something nice, solid, good character drama within there, and yeah, some strong messaging to be said throughout this adventure. So thank you very much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Please let me know your thoughts on Joy to the World, whether you enjoyed it or whether you absolutely loathe it. I'm very interested to know what camp you fall with this Christmas special. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.